All right, let's just jump right into it. If you think physics is all about dusty old textbooks and impossible equations, think again. Today, we're going to look at physics for what it really is. It's the user manual for the entire universe.
So, let me ask you a kind of weird question. What if you're living in a video game? I know, it sounds a little out there, but just think about it for a sec. Every single video game has rules, right? It's got this underlying code that dictates how everything in that world works.
You know, in a game, if you jump, you're going to come back down. If you run into a wall, you stop. That's the code, right there, doing its thing. Well, guess what? Our reality, it's got a source code too, a set of totally unbreakable rules that control everything. I'm talking from giant exploding stars all the way down to the way cream swirls in your coffee. And that code, well, that's what we call physics.
And right there, that's where we hit this huge misunderstanding a lot of people have. The second you say physics, people's eyes glaze over and they just think math. But here's the secret. Physics isn't the math. The math is just the language we use to read the code. It's the tool. Physics itself, that's the actual study of, well, everything.
Okay, so if we're going to start reading this source code for reality, we got to know what it's written in. We need to understand the absolute fundamental building blocks, like what is everything actually made of?
So think about it this way. A biologist might look at a tree and sees cells. A chemist looks at the same tree and sees molecules. But a physicist? Oh, they take it even a step further. They simplify it down to its absolute core. They look at that tree, and you, and me, and this whole room, and see that it's all made of just 4 basic things.
These 4 things are basically the pillars holding up the entire universe. So let's break them down, one by one.
First up, we've got matter. This one's pretty straightforward, right? It's just stuff. You, this planet, the sun, from the tiniest little atom to the biggest galaxy you can imagine. Basically, if you can touch it or bump into it, you're dealing with matter. Okay, so if matter is the stuff, then what's energy? Well, energy is the thing that makes the stuff do stuff. It's like the universe's currency. You need it for any action, any movement, any change at all. It's the heat coming off the sun, it's a car moving down the road, it's the electricity powering whatever device you're watching this on right now.
All right, so you've got stuff and you've got the ability for stuff to do things. But where does all this happen? That's where space comes in. It's the giant 3D stage for the whole cosmic show. And it's not just empty nothingness, it's the actual arena that holds everything.
And last but not least, we have time. What's the point of time? Well, it's the rule that keeps everything from happening all at once. Imagine that. It's the one-way street that takes us from the past through right now and into the future. Without it, the universe would just be a static snapshot. There'd be no story, no cause and effect.
So let's wrap that all up with a simple idea. Just think of the universe as one big cosmic play. Matter, those are your actors. Energy, that's the script telling them what to do. Space is the stage they perform on. And time? Well, time is the clock that makes sure the play happens one scene after another in the right order. Okay, so that's the really big cosmic picture. Matter, energy, space, time. Sounds great, but so what? What does any of that have to do with you, right now, in your everyday life? Let's bring this whole thing right back down to Earth.
Yeah, it's easy to think this stuff is just for rocket scientists, but it is absolutely not. Honestly, understanding these basic rules is like the ultimate life hack. Because once you get it, the world stops being this chaotic, random mess. It becomes a system. A system that you can actually understand and predict.
Believe it or not, you are using physics all day, every day. When you drive your car, you're constantly playing with friction and momentum. Making dinner tonight? That's literally you manipulating thermodynamics. And your phone. Your smartphone is this little miracle of quantum mechanics in your pocket. Seriously, the chips inside are so tiny that they literally would not work without the weird rules of the quantum world. And when you start to see the world this way, something amazing happens. It's like you can suddenly see these invisible threads that connect everything together. You start to realize that the same handful of elegant rules govern the entire universe, from the tiniest speck of dust to the biggest galaxy clusters. I mean, just take gravity.
The very same force that makes an apple fall from a tree to the ground is the exact same force that holds the massive moon in a perfect orbit around the Earth. Think about that. One rule, two totally different scales. It's all connected.
So this is the start of a journey, and really, anyone can take it. So let me give you a quick little roadmap of what's coming up.
First, we're going to start with what's called classical mechanics. This is the physics of our normal, everyday world, stuff you can actually see and touch. Then we'll get into the invisible stuff, the powerful forces of electricity and magnetism. And after that, well, that's when we dive into the really weird, mind-bending world of quantum physics and relativity. And trust me, that's where reality gets stranger than you could ever imagine.
And you know what the best part of all this is? You do not need a PhD. You don't even really need a calculator. The only thing you need to get started on this journey is something you already have: curiosity.
So, thanks for hanging out with me for this intro. Next time, we are going to tackle the first and maybe the most fundamental rule in the entire user manual: inertia.
And that leaves me with one final question for you to chew on until then. We're going to try and answer, why is the universe fundamentally lazy? Think about it. I'll see you for the next one.